but I can't see nothing. These eyes, they're all, wah, can't see nothing. That's all right. Just Stevie Wonder it. It'll be fine. This time, the Quick Speed Shop, check it out. What's this? It's an aluminum custom tonneau cover I'm making out of scrap found materials from my 1946 Studebaker truck right there, Studebaker. So if you want to see how I make a fully functional thing, tonneau cover, and go way over time trying to get it done, it's going to be black. Don't worry about it. It'll be painted black later. But for now, you can see how I build it starting right now. Oh, hey there. It's Josh, the Quick Speed Shop. We're working on the Studebaker truck again today, the 46 M5. And I just got to say, last time I said in the video, oh, you've never seen this before. It's the first time on the channel. What an idiot. I went back. I've already done a whole bunch of videos on this. I did a carburetor video. I did like multiple cold starts. I did a walk around video. I did a brake pad video. I just forgot. It was a couple years ago. So some of you have seen it already, but we've already done, last time we did the door handles. First time door handles have been on it in like 30 years because of my bear claw latches. We built some linkages. They use the stock style handles. Got the doors to work. I did a couple other things, custom dash. I changed the speedometer, fixed that. And then made some bed filler panels under here. And now, bam, I teased an aluminum tonneau cover. And I just got the piece I'm going to use here. And we're going to work on the bed today. This is actually a piece of like aluminum and plastic, I don't even know what they call it, like core board or something. This is a sign from work. We did a building project. It's a sign from it. And they were going to throw it out. I'm like, nope, I can use that. So bam, here it is. Don't trash it when you can stash it. So I stuck it away for a couple of weeks because they cleaned up the job site. And I brought it home. I didn't know what I usually just hang them up or hang on to them for keepsakes. But I'm like, today we can turn this into aluminum tonneau cover. Bam! So I've got pieces of oak where they're actually also thrown out. These are old bunk bed frames from college dorm rooms. They're throwing them out, and they got new furniture. So I got some of those a while ago, and they're solid oak. They bolted on here with these brass fittings or nut inserts or whatever those are. But they're white oak. I think. Pretty sure it's white oak. Maybe it's red oak. It's like the end of it. Can't tell. Maybe. I think it's white oak. I'm not a lumber expert. But anyways, it's oak. And yeah, we're going to use them here. Probably do something like this. Like have this bed's like 49 inches wide. And the aluminum is only 48 inches wide. So there is a little bit of a gap. And I'm going to make a framework that's going to sit on. And then just use these wood boards for like some trim. And then it'll give it some strength because this stuff's really, really flexible, and give it a little detail where it can kind of be maybe like a luggage rack thing. I don't know. So, but also we can use the wood to close up the gap, cover up the screw holes, and make it look like we know what we're doing. But don't worry, I'm not going to leave this the aluminum color. We're going to paint it black to match the truck, so it'll be flat black with the wood strips. So it'll be all right. But we need this. My friend Ted and I are taking this truck in a couple weeks. We're going to Cleveland. That's right, to the Piston Powered show at the Cleveland airport. If you're going to be at there, I'm going to have the Studebaker truck there, towing my 1956 homemade rail dragster behind it. Hopefully the weather's good that by then. We just had a burst of winter, even though it's the second day of spring. It's going to snow like 5 to 8 inches tomorrow night. And hopefully that's all over in a couple weeks, because we got to go a long way, and I don't want to trash this truck. Thing's been off the road. Thing's been out of the salt for 50 years. I don't want to trash it in the salt going to Cleveland. So hopefully the weather's good by then. We'll see. Hopefully. I don't know. So anyways, we got to haul some luggage, some tools, and spare tires, and all that nonsense. I said, why have the open bed of the truck when we can make a cover for it? So that's what we're going to do. And this, what is all over the back of this? Some kind of goo. It's all right. This panel's pretty straight. There's a couple of dents in it here and there, but when we paint it flat black, nobody will know the difference. Also, when I was doing some working on the truck off camera, just checking things out, see what I need, I noticed the rear pinion seal is leaking pretty good. I'm not going to change that before I go. I'm just going to fill the oil up. I mean, it's not leaking like it's going to run out. It's just, it's starting to leak. It's the original seal from 1966 in the, it's got a 66 Dodge 8 3/4 rear end with a 323 sure grip. And it's the original pinion seal from 1966, and it's dried out and now it's leaking. So I don't want to pull the pinion out and screw up the crush on the bearing or anything. I don't want to chance it, which I got to do all this driving. So I'm just going to fill it up. It's not leaking real bad, so it's not like it's going to run out of oil on the trip. So I'm going to fill it up there, but I got looking at my front tires, trying to be safe, and I've got some Firestone Winter Force snow tires, 205 75 15s. They're, I don't know, at least halfway worn down. They've been on it for a few years, probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years now, because these, I ran them on my Chevy S10. And actually, when they're brand new, I got a puncture, and it's got a plug here almost in the tread, almost in the sidewall. Not really supposed to be doing that, but it's worked, and it's lasted, well, it's the date code on these, 14. It's lasted 10 years with that plug in the sidewall-ish. So these tires got plenty of tread left on them, but I got looking. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but there is starting to get some micro abrasions of dry rot around the lip, and there's a little bit in the tread and stuff. And driving around town, I wouldn't really be worried about it. You know, I get a flat tire close to town or whatever. But we're going to be going on the highway at, you know, highway speed limit where we're going to 70 miles an hour. So I don't know if I'll be going 75 pulling the trailer, probably do like 65, but I was like, I don't really want to have a blowout on the front tire in this truck. It's so low to the ground. Do you know how hard it is to find like 205 75 15-inch tires? Everybody runs big inch rims on all their cars now. I had a heck of a time finding a regular 15-inch 205 75 tire. I wanted something that wasn't like made in China and had decent tread on it, so what I ended up doing is getting a General Grabber AT. And I ordered it from all places, like Walmart actually, online, and I had them shipped to my house. Usually I buy my tires in Tire Rack, but Tire Rack really didn't have anything that I wanted in the 205 75 thing. They had some like Chinese tires that I didn't want, like with garbage tread, and a couple other ones, and it was really, really hard to find a tire, so I ended up buying these from Walmart. So I think it's going to look good on here. We got kind of a truck, you know, we got a truck here, so we're going to have like a truck style tread. They're just C-rated, you know, sidewalls and stuff. But I want to say they were $150 a piece, which is a lot of money for not a lot of tire, but it's all I could really find to go on the truck that was, like I said, not made in China. These are made in Mexico, which I'm not super excited about, but Mexico is better than China for tires. I don't ever run tires made in China. Nope, not gonna do it. Don't care what anybody says. Their rubber is garbage. Their freaking quality control is garbage. Never, ever run tires made from China. Nope. I'll run tires, 10-year-old tires I'll run these tires at 100 miles an hour for the next 10 years before I'll run a brand new tire from China. There, I said it. So now that I showed you the tires, let's go ahead and work on the box. Before we do the tonneau cover though, I want to put some, let me put you over here so you can see. Before we do the tonneau cover, I actually want to put some bed rails on this. This box, the Studebaker cab is really tall, and then the box is low, and there's this big difference, kind of like a body line with the windows and stuff wrap around that. It seems like it drops way down, and so I think it looks better with a sideboard. And I've used these same oak boards on my Model A hot rod shop truck. I got a board above the box, like Model A trucks look really good with a wooden board above the box. So I think we're going to make some stake pocket brackets and mount a board like this on the bed here, so we'll have a little bit of action. So then you'll have the tonneau cover with the wood on it and the wood boards on the sides, and I think it'll tie it all together and look pretty good. So we're going to do that first before we do the tonneau cover. So I think what I want to do is I got some of this 1x2 channel here. And I think what I'll do, I think it's going to work out is putting it down in the stake pockets here and bolting it through the inside of the stake pocket, and then we can bolt the wood to it here and just kind of bolt through it, actually, which would face this way. There we go. So the bolts would be in the channel here, and these will bolt through the stake pocket. What is that going on there? Got some kind of weird hole punched through there. These guys will go in here. I can drill a hole, and how might have to weld a plate to the front of this, put a nutsert in it so it can bolt up flush to the side. Why won't that go in there? It's got a weird hole punched in there for some reason. Huh. Has the other side got a weird hole punched in it? I'm coming around. Oh, there's no hole punched in this side. There we go. It's too short. Ah, come here. So there's like a foot down in the bed that these would sit on. Usually these would be, guys would put wood in here originally, but we're going to do it out of steel. And yeah, I've got to weld a plate on a couple of nutserts here. If I put nutserts into this, then I can or weld nuts to the back of it, but I got the nutsert thing. That way, let me think about this. I'm going to think about it. The tonneau cover is going to be mounted on angle iron. That's going to bolt across here too. So maybe if I flip it around this way, and I bolt through there and nut through there, I can be able to get it doesn't help me because then the bolts go through the wood and the nuts. It's got to go this way. Just trying to figure out the best way to do this. I want to kind of like hide the fasteners. Yeah, I think the best thing to do is weld a plate on the front of here. I'll put a fastener. All right, bam, I'm mocking it up here. I went and I cut my pieces and just got them in here, just not bolted down. I haven't done any welding or anything like that yet. I'm just kind of mocking it up. I cut all these pieces the same length because I figured the stake pockets are the same. So they're supposed to be flush like this on top, and I got this angle here cut. But in the back, the brackets in the stake pockets are 1/4 inch higher than they are in the front, both sides for some reason. So I had to measure. I measured from the top of the bed up to the top of the wood and made it the same, and the back two are 1/4 inch, so I got to trim 1/4 inch off the back of those. But anyways, this looks good here. I explained in the last video, this bed is not the original bed for this truck. It's actually, it's the same style. Bud Company made them, and Dodges and Studebakers use the same bed. This is off a late 30s Dodge, and it is, I had to widen it a couple inches, and it's like 3 or 4 inches shorter than the Studebaker box should be in the back. And I had to slide the bed back a little bit to meet the end of the frame, which left a gap here. So my front panel, I actually slid ahead and made a bracket, so it's actually, instead of ending here where the top of this is, and eventually I'll probably weld a piece of tubing on and extend this out so the bed matches the front of the bed here. The stake pocket will be back a little bit, but I'll probably weld in here and extend this out to here, so it doesn't, it doesn't look bad now. It looks, but I've got the wood hanging over because I thought about stopping it back here at the end of the piece, but then you're really going to see the front of the thing, the front of the bed here, so I extended them out about halfway to split the gap. But now you can see this, so I don't know if I should extend it right now. Well, it's the next day, and I couldn't get over, once I put the board on here, the misalignment or mismatch of extending the front of this bed without extending the bed rail. So I'm in the process of fixing that. Add 1 3/4 inches worth of tubing here. I'm just going to weld her up on right here, weld it on there, and then it's going to get a piece of flat stock or sheet metal, come down here and bridge this gap in. That way it'll, there won't be that missing piece like on that side. It'll be, the box will look like it go all the way up. Then I can run the wood right up to the front, flush with that, and everything will match, and it won't look odd. So I'm in the process of getting that ready to weld. It's hard to get had a tough ground there for a second. Yeah, there we go. Got her now. Ow. Well, here's a pro builder's tip. I went to the eye doctor today and got an eye exam. They gave me the drops for the big pupils. You see them? It's really hard to weld because your pupils are so far open and makes it really hard to see. So we're gonna do the best we can do here, but it ain't the best. Kind of pointing and shooting. I got it. That's what the grinder's for. That's what the grinder's for. There we go. Got it. So now I just need to get a piece of flat stock, like 1/8 inch flat stock, and weld in that piece. I'll grind this first before I weld that on there. Yeah, that's gonna look a lot better having that extended all the way out. That looks a lot better. I was probably going to do it anyways a while ago, and I never did because I ran out of time, but it looks a lot better. It's good enough to get to the show. So I'll just make the piece to get in there, fill that in. I'll do the same thing on the other side, and then then I've got to take these and I've got to weld them plates on like I was talking about to be able to drill them and put the nut certs in there. So I got to find some 2-inch flat stock, but I can't see nothing. These eyes, they're all can't see nothing. That's all right. Just Stevie Wonder it. It'll be fine. All right, it's the next day here, and the paint is dry on my bed extensions. I'm really glad I did that. It looks 1,000 times better to have the pipe come all the way out to the front of the box. It's just a detail that I hadn't finished before. I got both sides. I didn't use any filler or nothing because the rest of this bed is all pitted, so I just welded them on, and good enough for government work for now. But extended both sides out. So now I'm going to take my extensions out here, going to find some flat stock. We'll weld that in. Then we'll drill through here and bolt these guys on. Get the lumber cut for the sides. Get those mocked up. Then I'm running out of time to finish this video. I'm behind. I've been really busy, so I'm going to finish this video up today and edit it tonight to get it out tomorrow for Sunday for you guys, which you watched. This is just yesterday, the day before. We still got to build that over there, the tonneau cover. Dang it, run out of time. It's already afternoon. So anyways, I'm going to do that real fast. Find some flat stock, get these guys made, and and then go from there. My tires, I'm gonna get them, they're not gonna get mounted up in this video. I thought I could do them today with my buddies, but it snowed a bunch and he's busy with his shop, so we're gonna do them next time, or I'll get them for the next time. We'll get them mounted up on the truck. And I also had a box come in for electric windshield wipers. I bought a kit from Speedway. Next video is gonna be, we're gonna modify this cowl. Probably have to weld some kind of like little stanchion sheet metal piece in here to mount these wipers in. But I want to get dual wipers on the truck before I go on the trip. So we're going to do, that's probably the next video, is putting electric wipers on this. So then it's just pulling the wheels off, swapping the tires. I want to check the rear brakes, make sure they're adjusted up. Front brakes are mint, and they're almost brand new. I want to actually reinforce my bumper hitch. Make a bracket from the frame down to the bolt into the ball here. I want to reinforce that. Just, I mean, this is really strong, but it's only mounted on over here. I want to do a little reinforcement in the center just because we're going so long. Okay, I welded the plates on the bottom of my my pieces here, and now I'm drilling it out and putting a nut insert in it so I can bolt it into the stake pockets. I've already done 3 of them, and essentially I want 3 inches down because the angle iron that the tonneau cover is going to sit on is going to be 2-inch angle iron, so I went below that. I put a nut insert in it and a 5/16 bolt, and that's all that needs there to lock it down. It's nice and tight, and I've got 3 of them done. I noticed I got a broken like rivet or spot weld or whatever this is on the bed. See how this shakes here? So I got to grind this down. I'm going to plug weld that back up. I might seam weld the edge of it here, but the side of the bed is loose. This side is good. It's all good to go there. And I've got 3 of my uprights bolted in, just like I said, and I'm about ready to do the 4th one. I'll show you putting the nut insert in here with my tool. I got my Astro 1442 nut insert tool. And I got the nut insert on here. This is a nut insert. They look like this, and those little serrations grab it, and then it mushes down, and it makes the nut insert. It looks like this. The little serrations there hold it, and then you mush it down with the tool. So I've drilled the correct hole for this one. It's 7/16. So I just take this in here and squeeze it. This is thick 1/8-inch flat stock, so it doesn't squish all the way with the tool, but it bent it down enough to lock her in place. So now we got a nut insert there to bolt through. It mushes that fitting. You can see it in there. Can you see it? I don't know if you can or not. Can't tell, but it mushes it right in there nice and tight. Boom, drop that down in the stake pocket, and then the bolt goes right in there. One bolt locks that right down. These are sitting on them things in the stops in there, so they're sitting on there, and this holds it pretty tight. That's why I welded that whole long piece of flat stock here, so it'd have a nice flat surface to bolt and pull pressure against the bed. So that's good. Now we just take our sideboards, which I've cut to 75 inches, the same length as the bed. I'm just going to eyeball this here for now. I'll take the tool and stick it out. Oh. Everything moved. Just kind of eyeball it to the front of the bed. Now all I've got to do is drill. I'm going to use one 5/16 carriage bolt right in the center of these boards to hold it. This should be fine. Just one should be fine. These aren't really, really substantial or anything. Try not to dimple the wood with the vice grips, but I also need it enough to hold on there. But you can see the idea. Then I'll just bolt right through here. Then the nut will be encapsulated back in here. What do we got here? 6 inches right on the money. And this should be the same. 6 inches on the money. Now, I got to go ahead about 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to do this. Oh, I think this will slide on that one. Oh yeah, boom. A little bit more. Go. Oh. There we go. Perfect. Double check our height. 6 inches on the money. Went down just a little bit when I pushed on it, but we'll reclamp our action here. Yep. There we go. Now, like I said, 5/16 carriage bolt right through the center of the board. And a nut and a washer, and the sideboards will be mounted up on both sides. I'm not going to paint the uprights right now. I'll paint them after the video is over just because I'm running out of time to build the tonneau cover. So we're going to go right into that, do all the fabbing work, and then these are just going to get sprayed flat black. So you can get the idea. But there's one. I'm just going to drill these out and bolt them on real fast. I don't think you need to see that because it's just me going burp, burp, burp with a drill. And I'll bolt them both on, and then we will start fabbing this tonneau cover. How am I going to do that? I think I'm going to share the bolts, actually. I think if I take the angle iron, let me think about this, because if I bolt the angle iron through here, if I hit another nutsert, now hold on a minute, I have any idea, but then I've got yes, if I bolt through these with another nutsert, okay, through the angle iron, and then I'll probably come to like this bolt here, and I'll weld a foot down to the bottom of the angle iron like a piece of flat stock that can bolt through here. That'll hold the center of the angle iron. Then I'll have bolts on either end through there. I'll put another 5/16 nutsert in there and use another 5/16 bolt. That'll hold all that together. And actually, then I'll have 2 bolts holding this together. That's going to work out good. Okay, I got the first piece that the tonneau cover is going to fit on drilled here. It's a 2x2 angle iron, 1/8 inch. And I've drilled it here so we can put another, like I said, another nutsert into the this piece here. And we'll be able to use a 5/16 bolt to hold it there. And then I'm going to use a piece of this 2-inch welded up down to make a foot that's going to bolt onto that bolt. I've already written on the bottom side what I got to do dimension-wise. These are 70 1/4 inch long, so I need 2 of them. Unfortunately, I didn't have a longer piece than that to make a second one, but I've got 2 pieces here cut in half. So I'm going to have to get these trued up and squared up and weld these together. Luckily, we're not doing anything that's anywhere near structural, so it don't matter. But I started off with a long one, obviously. So we got this going. I have some perforated 1-inch angle iron. I think was the corners for shelves. And it's got a whole bunch of holes drilled in it, so it'll be a little bit lighter. But I'll be able to use it to bolt on easily. And that's going to sit angle 180 degrees from this opposite, so up and down. And that'll sit on here. And then the aluminum and the wood will bolt on top like this. So when it's all together, it'll be flush or a little bit higher than the top of the box. And be able to open up. Have tonneau cover action. It'll span across the back of the tailgate inside here and seal this right up. We're going to make a hinge in the front on both sides. It's a simple like through bolt with a couple of sheet metal tangs or 1/8 inch flat stock tangs with just a bolt through it. And then this thing will just open up and get like a stick or something to hold it up there, but this should be real simple. Let me buzz the other one of these together, get that bolted in on this side, then we'll get out that angle and we'll start making the framework, get it in here. I'll do the framework first, then we'll cut this down to size, get this mounted, figure out how the wood's going to work, make the hinges, and then this thing should be functional. All right, I don't know where the time went, but it's already getting late at night. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm here trying to get this video done. Running out of time because it's Saturday night and I gotta put it together and get it out tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna have to be Sunday night or Monday. So you guys will see it when it comes out, but I don't know how this took so much time, but somehow it's got away from me. Anyways, I've got both the rails bolted in here temporarily. And like I said, I was using the bolt off the fender there. I welded a little tab underneath both sides, picked up the fender bolt there. So the thing has got 3 mounts to it. It's nice and sturdy all through there. And now I'm working on the metal for the, the actual cover itself. This is like shelving material, I think, that I got somewhere. I've had for a while. It's actually a little bit hardened. It's not like mild steel, like hot rolled steel, like regular angle iron. It's grinds. It makes a little bit oranger sparks. It's a little harder, but I'm making it 4x8, or I'm making it 4 foot wide and however long it's got to be. I think 70 inches long here. And I've clamped it to my like little homemade welding table. I'm using a framing square to make sure I can square it up. I'm just going to tack it for now, get it tacked up both sides. I had a rag fire. I smelled smoke. I had a little paper rag fire because everything I work on is a disaster. At least it didn't set all this on fire. So I'm tacking this together. The heater keeps running and blowing the MIG gas around, but it's super cold and snowy out. So I've just tacked the front half. I'm going to spin it around and tack the rear half in, and then we'll bring it over and set it on the truck and get an eyeball. And see, it's like 9:30 already, so probably be like 10 o'clock by the time I get in there. But yeah, let me tack this back side on real fast, and then I'll bring you right back to the back of the truck, and we'll set it in there and get an eyeball. Well, it's Sunday. You guys should be watching this video right now, but it ain't done yet. Sorry. So I've got the, from last night, I got this far, and then I got too late, and I had to stop. But I got the framework all tacked together here, and multiple issues. I tried using that framing square, to make it, to true it up the best I could, like floating in the air over there on my welding table. I got it close, but not quite close enough. You can see it's running off there. So the back is true. I just need to cut this free here, and I'm going to tweak it in place and just tack it in place here and true it up to the bed. I can't hold on to it in space over there. And also, I think this one, I can't tell by looking down it, but I think I think right here it's bent. So I got that situation going on, but I think I can flip it upside down and block it up and tap on it in the middle and straighten it out. So anyways, to straighten this out, I'm going to bring the welder over. I'm going to tack it to my angle iron in both corners here, back where this has got to be, equidistant. Then I'm going to zing this with a cutoff wheel, cut all my tacks on this portion here, so I got room to maneuver it. And then I'm going to drag it into place and then retack it to the box. That'll be the easiest way to fix this disaster. I edited the video, most of it last night, and it's already over half an hour long, so I got to wrap this up, or else you guys are gonna lose interest and not watch it, because I've noticed that 45-minute videos only get watched for like 10 minutes. If you could watch a little bit more, it would really help me out. It ain't free making all this, so if you could watch, like, just, you don't even gotta watch it. Just click on and then go away for the day. Just let it run in the background. Anything. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, I got all my welding done, and actually I added a couple of braces here, some 3/4 flat stock to try to true this thing up. I cut the welds free here. I also made my hinges, which are 1/4 inch pieces of cutout stock I had, and I used an existing bolt hole I had in the side of the bed here. And I welded up a nut for a spacer in here, and then it's going to get a nylock nut on the inside when I get it bolted on permanently. But those hinges won't bend, they're real heavy duty. And let me put you over here so you can watch it function. Here we go, it should work. Ah, look at that. Bam! Now it's super wonky flexible this way because it's, you know, just pieces of angle iron. But this way with the brackets, it doesn't really want to do that. When I bolt the aluminum down in a bunch of these holes, it definitely will lock it up good. And it might take some of the flex out of it here, but we've got a tonneau cover that will open up all the way for easy loading action. Like I said, I'll have a stick, or maybe I'll get like a hood, like prop rod type of deal, where I can swing it out of the way, like a rod that will bolt on here and have a catch, so I can just swing it down. Or actually, it's got to be in the middle, or this will flex it. But we'll have some kind of rod or something to hold it. Boom. And then actually, I got to put a cross member in the center. I want to have one to bolt my oak strips down, and we'll bolt in the center there. It'll help stiffen this thing up. So I'm gonna see if I got another piece of this stuff. I got short pieces of it. Oh no, they're not long enough to go across. Dang. Oh, I might weld these two together and make a piece to go across there. Actually, maybe I'll look for another piece of angle iron. Or well, this already got holes in it. I'll probably just weld these two cutoffs together, then notch it to fit in here. Put a center cross member across to stiffen this up a little bit. And then we'll cut that aluminum and get it on here. I don't think I'm going to get this painted for the video. I'm going to really run out of time. I'm going to have to do it later on because as soon as I get done doing this, I'm going to go in and finish the video and upload it. And it'll take out some of my time. But we'll at least get it, like, you know, put together, and you can see it unpainted and see how it's going to function, because the video is already extremely long. All right, we're ready to cut the aluminum here, and I think I'm just going to do it with a cutoff wheel. I actually had to trim it around my little hinges up here. And I used a flap disc, and it ate right through this, like, immediately. This plastic's super thin, and this aluminum is super thin. So I think I can just cut it real fast with the cutoff wheel. And what we'll probably do is once I get it bolted on here, I'll just take and I'll run the flap disc along the edge and clean the edge right up nice. So let's try it. What's the worst that could happen? Here we go. Ta-da! It should go, take them off, it should go right into place-ish. I left it just a little bit long so I can address it with the grinder. Here, check that out, ready? Oh my goodness. It's working! It's working! Heck yeah, bro. It got a lot heavier, but it is ooh. I hope it doesn't do that. Oh no. I think once I bolt the 3 strips of wood on it, it'll give it a lot more strength. This thing is super flexible here. But I think that's got it. like I said, I'm trying to get this video out for you guys. So what I'm going to do, just bolt it down, set the wood on it so you get the general idea. You see our proof of concept here. I've really got to get this video out, so I'm not going to take the time. I'm going to have many more hours in fitting it, final grinding it, painting it, and everything. I got to get the video out. So we'll just prove the concept here, get it kind of like thrown together how it's going to look, and then we'll finish the video with that. I'll just show you once I get a couple of bolts in it with the wood, and then next time we're going to still work on this truck. I'm going to put some electric wipers in it. I bought an electric wiper kit from Speedway. We'll see that, and hopefully get the new front tires mounted up on. So I'll come back to you one last time in a second and show you the final product, pre-paint, and then we'll be done for today. All right, bam, there we go. I finished it up as far as I can get in this video, but you guys get the idea. Look at that. I got the 3 wooden strips going down. I put some, I'm going to use stainless steel 1/4-20 bolts. I got a lot of them. So I'm going to use stainless steel 1/4-20 bolts to bolt through here. So you'll see those. They won't be painted black. They'll be stainless. And the 3 wooden strips, I've notched them in the front for the hinges. And they all are back about 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch from the edge because they need the room when the thing opens. They would bind up on there, so they're back from there. But I'll be scuffing this thing up, throwing a little bit of rattle can primer and then some flat black paint on it, and then the wood will stay there obviously like that. But as you can see, the wood fills up the gap all the way to the box, so it looks like it fits pretty good. I'm probably going to put some kind of rubber edging on it, or I got like what do you call it, like door seal edging for car doors that I'll probably put on the bottom of the angle iron so it doesn't just go rattle metal on metal. And hold your ears a second. Ah, that's nasty. I've got urethane bushings for a sway bar for my tailgate hinges, and I got to grease them because they are super scratchy. But that's what it looks like with the tailgate down. I would pick it up, but the wood is just sitting on it, but you saw me open it before. Mercy sakes. So, bam, tonneau cover mostly done. I've just got to take I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to drill a bunch of carriage bolts down through the edge of the wood here into the framework. And then see this gap here. I'm going to put a carriage bolt. There's actually a bolt screwed into this fitting. I'm going to put a carriage bolt in the middle of that too to pick that up in the center so it won't flap. And we'll do some carriage bolts down in the framework along the edges here, and then a couple of 1/4-20s in the front here to suck all this down. It should tighten the thing up after that pretty good. It'll have quite a few fasteners in it and keep it from flapping, hopefully, but I'm not going to really have time to test it before we hit the road, so hopefully it don't rattle. So that's it. A super long one for me and you guys. I actually got like almost 3 days in building this thing, and it ain't done yet. I've got 6 hours in it today to get to this point. So if you, sorry I couldn't finish up in this video, but it would be, I got to get the content out. So I'm going to just paint it off camera. And then next time we're going to put, like I said, those electric wipers in the truck. And then I've got to do a couple other little things, but this thing will be ready to go to Cleveland. It's coming up in like 2 weeks. I got like 2 weeks to finish it. Or next Saturday is my last Saturday. Well, next Sunday isn't, so I got a week and a half to finish it. Yikes, and get it ready to go. So I gotta turn up the wick on my production here. I gotta scuff the truck, shoot it black. That's gonna be pretty fast, but I gotta get them wipers in there first. So that's gonna be fab, and then it's gonna be a rush. It's a rush. So anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. And sorry I couldn't finish it all the way, but it is what it is. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. I hope you liked it. It's going to work out good for my trip, and we'll see you next time, hopefully on time, here at the Quick Speed Shop.